What's up, mortals? It's Dante from the anime Underworld, and we are back from break.
Yay!
Today we're going over chapter 206, The Gloating Man. What has Nakaba got in store for us this week? Well, let's find out and get into the chapter. We begin chapter 206 where we left off with Lancelot standing victoriously against the chaotic four perils. Everyone is in awe, even those who haven't seen Lancelot firsthand, shocked that this young man single-handedly took down the four perils with one strike. Sadly, Lancelot has to ruin on his own parade by informing them that he didn't just beat them. They're still as hale as ever, with black gunk coming out of their weird mouths, whatever you call them to be, with everyone staring in horror. All Lancelot did was damage them enough in their shells to drag that out. Whatever it is, I'm assuming it's the chaos that King Arthur gave them. And I am correct, because Owzer asked the same question of what that gunk is, and Gowther, much to Pelio's surprise, is informing them that that is the thing that's been controlling the four evils, the root of Arthur's power. The black gunk is forming something monstrous and hideous, calling to Lancelot, as we see, this is what we see. Oh my God, no wonder Nakaba took a week off. It was probably just to draw this, because holy crap, this thing is just mocking Lancelot. You're such a thorn in my side, you make me sick. You're far too strong, just die, blah blah blue. But oh man, just look at this monstrosity and all its horror, and what the heck? Yeah, y'all are seeing this too, right? Y'all are seeing Kath right there. I'm not the only one who's not seeing this. Yeah, we'll just come back to this. Everyone is probably shitting their pants wondering if that is actually the King Arthur. But thankfully, thanks to Gowther, he says, no, it's just an imitation of his face and voice. It is a part of Arthur's force.
Good guess, but actually no.
What I can only assume to be Arthur's chaotic telephone is asking Lancelot, is it your arrogance or your softness? They are familiar vessels to me now, quite convenient, so I must thank you for that. It asked him, but why did you not kill them? With his white deer katana drawn, he answers, because I want to crush your ass. Why do you think? The god of war attacks with shining road on Arthur's chaotic clone, blasting the monstrous depiction of the King of Chaos into oblivion, with Lancelot looking very awesome. Shining Road causes a massive explosion and shockwave throughout the rest of Anafwyn. But Arthur's chaotic phone thing, I don't know what to call it, mocks Lancelot even through the blast, telling him, this boundless magical force, I see it. All while Lancelot is just staring at him without a care in the world. The clone continues to mock him, as much force as you have at your fingertips. But only using that much won't defeat me. It mocks, with Lancelot's blade cracking and shattering to pieces. The white deer is destroyed, and so is Arthur's messenger that spirals into a vortex, taking it and the four perils with him. Being a bit of a loser, as it says to Lancelot, too bad for you. And okay, I'm not the only one who is seeing Kath here, am I? Nakaba, what are you planning? Lancelot looks a little sad. I mean, I would too if my favorite katana got destroyed. But he just shrugs it off, saying, so much for that. I guess this means Dubs now really has to forge him a new weapon. Ooh, I wonder what he's gonna make. But snapping back to reality, Prince Tristan's name is called out as everyone looks towards the prince's body, saddened at such a sight. The Prince of 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜 is just bisected in half, right next to his dang legs, as Isolde cries, "Prince Tristan, why did you have to go on ahead with me?" Crying her eyes that they had a promise, didn't they? That he would come back to her? Yes, the scene is very sad, very emotional as everyone, even 𝐸𝐿, is crying over the dead prince, asking how can they go much longer without him. Lancelot goes to the body of his dear childhood friend, and what does he do? Well, he just slaps him awake, telling him to get off his lazy ass. Waking up from his weird abrupt nap, everyone is shocked beyond belief, with the prince acting as if he's fine and alright, scolds Lancelot, asking him, "Hey, that hurts. How can you be so mean to the dead?" And then suddenly realizes, wait, how am I even alive? Oh, all the fans of this series knows, except for Tristan, that because he is half demon, and from a really high quality demon too, you know, the son of the frickin' Demon King, as they say, you could decapitate a high level demon and he'd still go back to normal. Something that Tristan had no idea about, with everyone else dropping dead. Okay, rant time. Who the has been training this kid? It clearly was not 𝐿𝐼𝐿, or else Tristan would have known that his demon powers have amazing healing potential. Remember, 𝐿𝐼𝐿 and Gawain literally pulled themselves back together. Being cut in half is practically nothing to a high-level demon like them. So how did Tristan get to be such a unique fighter if 𝐿𝐼𝐿 probably didn't train him that way? But we'll get into that discussion later. After that little reveal about Tristan's demon powers that he should have known about, everyone is looking for survivors after the crash tower of 𝐼𝐿. 𝐼𝐿 says that Donnie managed to save half of the audience, but the other half, yeah, they're dead. I mean, falling from a mountain is one thing, but being crushed under it is another. Percival is distraught, saying that it's all their fault. Not his fault, their fault. Saying that if they hadn't come, maybe more of them would still be alive. But Lancelot tells his beloved friend that it wasn't him, it was the four evils, the chaos. It was not their fault, so he shouldn't feel bad for it. Percival, still having, I guess, survivor's guilt, tells his friend that he figured at least killing one of them would have made it worth it, but instead, they got the ever-loving snot beaten out of them. Percival, your friend is trying to cheer you up, and you are going to listen. As Lancelot tells him, we've now seen how you all stack up at the moment. It's time to connect that next time. But you found Tristan and you got him back to normal, didn't you? Celebrate that at least. Yes, Lancelot realizes what the fans have been excited for, at least for this series, for a long time. That the four knights of the apocalypse have finally reunited. Isn't that good enough? As they all band together, finally united once again, in a victorious fist bump. With their hopes risen once again, the three knights are excited to be together again, and as long as they have one another, they can still put up a good fight. Sadly, this moment has been interrupted by the Goliath. That dang monster is still alive, even after being buried alive by rubble like a hydra. This thing is still kicking, but not for long. With a mighty slash, Balin the Invincible destroys Goliath for good because, thanks to him and Gareth, he emptied the monster of all the wrathful spirits, so now it's nothing more than a giant corpse. This reminds them that not only are the four knights united, but now Now they have more friends than last time. And this confirms the theory that Lancelot and Balin are not the same person. I don't know who came up with this theory, but they are not the same person. Because that would mean Lancelot would be Gawain's servant. And we can't have that, can we? Speaking of new people, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room with Theodora and Izzy, who look very apologetic. Yeah, let's see how they're gonna worm their way out of this one. You know, the guy who tried to kill Percival's harem members and the girl who brainwashed Tristan into being her loyal boyfriend. Yeah, I want to know what they're gonna say this time. We transition out of Anafwen and... Ooh, I actually wanted to play this joke for a while.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Not now!
Okay.
We cut to King Arthur, the true king of chaos, who is coughing up blood with a knight rushing to his aid, wondering what has happened to his beloved ruler. King Pendragon is in shock of Lancelot's enormous strength. It's not a fluke. He could even have surpassed the legendary 7 deadly sins. The shock factor does not last long with King Arthur, with the King of Chaos getting back up and shrugging it off, laughing even, much to the confusion of his loyal knight. He was skeptical at first, but maybe taking that hit to the chin was actually good for him. But for what possible reason could Arthur have for taking a blow like that? Well, we end chapter 206 with Arthur realizing the secret behind the strength of Lancelot. And that is how we end 206 with a massive cliffhanger of our villain's next move. Anafwen is hopefully wrapping up, and what a way to end it. Arthur has a plan, but we're gonna have to see what it might be. Fans are suggesting that it is perhaps connected to the magical lake. You know, the one where they fight the Demon King and where they resurrected Arthur. Lancelot is called the Prince of the Lake, and this is the only, significant lake in this series. So whatever the connection is, we're just gonna have to wait and see what the King of Chaos has in store. Speaking of chaos, Kath, little kitty guy who was hanging around Arthur and then became a ginormous freaking monster. Yeah, I don't think I didn't notice the little fuzzball hanging around Arthur in his monstrous chaotic forms. This has been a fan theory for a while now, that Arthur is corrupted by Kath Palu. The beast is somehow still alive and it affected Arthur mentally, making him turn dark and twisted, leading some to believe that all the evil that he's been doing isn't just our good friend Arthur from the first series, but instead the Destroyer, the beast that they faced a long time ago. I got my eye on you, Cat. I got my eye on you. What did you think of chapter 206? What is Arthur's plan to wound the god of war? And what will the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse do now that they are finally reunited? This has been Dante from the Anime Underworld. If you love 7 Deadly Sins and 4 Knights of the Apocalypse material, subscribe for more coming your way. We'll be out with more material very soon. With that in mind, I'll see you mortals later.